Come here. Welcome to the Famous Foxes Aftermath Show, live every Sunday on Leicester Fan TV. Come on, you Foxes.
Good morning, everyone. How are we all doing? Good morning. I thought I'd go live a bit early today, at 9:30 in the morning. Obviously, it's not 9:30; it's 7:30. I'll be truthful. I did wake up late today, and as Jamie is not doing the shows at the moment, I woke up late and didn't do the show. So we're doing it now. I've got a bit of a cough, so hopefully you don't mind it. But yeah, 7:30 tonight. We'll be back to normal next week. I apologise. Get your views and get your comments in as always. We'll be getting Taylor on, I think, soon as well to talk about Leicester City. But today we'll be talking about the next 3 games in Portsmouth, Hull, and Millwall. Obviously, we need to see what people think of that and get your comments and views in on that. It is going to be a late stream tonight, so hopefully you don't mind it. Get your views and get my comments in as always, and we'll get straight in to the show.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.
Yes, as always, follow us on Leicester Fan TV on all socials. Yeah, we are late, of course we are. It is not 9:30 in the morning, it's 7:30 at night. Get your views and get comments in as always. We'll get straight into it. So the first 3 games after the international break is going to be Pompey, Portsmouth, and then we get then we've got Hull, and then we've got Millwall. And on paper, I'd say that majority of them 3 should be winning games. Again, we got a result before the international break against Swansea, a good win, a good few goals as well. Going into the next few games after that, after the international break, we have got the 3 I've just mentioned. Pompey, it shouldn't be too bad. Again, I don't know where they are in the league. They're not the best in the world. But we should be beating them. Hull, again, I think a lot of fans in the Championship probably thought that Hull would be ones to go down. I think they're actually doing better than they are, better than people thought, which is going to be a tough one as well. And then Millwall, which again, a tough one. They're one of the teams that are apparently looking to be in the top 10 to top 6 this season, with the likes of the players that they've got in. That they're not really a pushover, are they? It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but the players we've got to have in that team going into them games, the likes of Jordan James, the likes of Fatawu Mavadidi, if he comes back. And I know I'm not the biggest fan of him at the moment, but it's rumours to be talked about. We'll see. There's not many comments at the moment, but we'll get people in a minute. Taylor will bring in now. Taylor, how are you doing, mate?
Yeah, not bad, thank you.
All good, all good. We obviously mentioned the 3 teams that's going to be coming up. What's your thoughts on obviously the Portsmouth game that's firstly coming up? Obviously with the international break and a lot of our players being out on international, we've seen that the likes of AU been scoring for Ghana. You've got Jordan James, who obviously got on the bench against England and did come on, but didn't do much about it. What's your take on Portsmouth? Because again, realistically, after the 3 points we've got at Swansea, we need to be getting a result against Pompey, don't we?
Yeah, I think it's just a must-win game. We've got Wrexham was a similar sort of game. As no Portsmouth are probably a bit better team than Wrexham, but it's just a must-win game at home. There, we should be beating a team like Portsmouth at home. We think we've got good enough players to get over the line against Portsmouth, but it's just whether they'll sit back, and we've historically done bit crap against teams who have sat back and sit in a block of 11, but we've just got to get the win.
Yeah, I agree. And obviously, we've obviously been talking about it the last few weeks while the international break's been on about where are we happy with the position we're in, and obviously being third at the moment. You'd probably say you're very happy with it, but the fact is, if you got a better result against Coventry, and got the result against Wrexham, you'd be top of the league. And as much as people are talking about Coventry being the big dogs at the moment, scoring loads of goals, we're only 3 points off them, and we are only 3 points off being top of the league. And obviously, I know there's a point deduction looming and whatnot, but are you happy right now with where we are in the league? Because, like I said, a few other results that we've had gone our way, we would be clear top of the league.
Yeah, I'd say I'm happy because of what you said about Coventry. Everyone's raving about Coventry being like a super team, but we're like only a couple points behind them, and we're still not satisfied. We've had games where we know we should have won, and even if we got one of them results down the line, I think we'd be second or even joint top. But it shows that we will improve. We will get better. It was under Maresca. It was similar. Like, yes, we won every game to start with, but we weren't great. We just had maybe a better squad then that got us over the line with the wins that we haven't got now. But I think we'll just improve.
Well, yeah, you obviously mentioned about the team we had 2 years ago till now. I think now we've got the introduction of the likes of Jordan James, who I feel like we kind of were missing that kind of Juice Biorless sort of player. We've seen the last 2 games, or even 3, when he came on, I think, I can't remember what team, but he did come on in 3 games now, or played in 3 games. And I think that he's been a quality player in all 3 of them. And him coming in again, we've got Ramsey back as well, obviously, after his red card. I feel like we are starting to see the team progress. I don't think we've ever gone backwards. Again, we've only lost 1 game, and I think even in that game against Preston, I felt like we were going for the winner at that point before we conceded. So I don't see any reason to be annoyed at the moment. I don't think there's any reason to be worried. Yes, there is that point deduction that could happen or not. We don't know until it happens, so we can't really say it will or not. But again, I'm not seeing any backwards trajectory of how we're playing. I think we are getting better each game, and I think it shows that even against Coventry, we probably were annoyed that we didn't get the result we probably should have got in a win, and people were annoyed that we got a draw against them, who, like I say, like you said, have been scoring for fun, and they couldn't score against us at all against us at home. So, do you believe that we are on a progressive journey? I think that I was going to say Maresca. Cifuentes is doing a good job so far.
Yeah, I think he is, because obviously you've got everyone who was here last season. You've heard people say it in interviews. It was just a depleted squad. I think Ricardo said it in one of his interviews. The dressing room, the mood around the dressing room last season was so low. It does take a lot for a manager to come in and just completely pick that up, and the expectations flip instantly. You've gone from pretty much knowing we were going to lose every week to expecting to win every week. So it's not going to just click like that. And I think we've seen so much improvement from that Preston game, which I thought we were dire in the first half. But like you said, we went on to when Monga scored, we thought we'd go on to win it. But that day we weren't great, and since then we've looked a lot better. We don't look like losing many games. We look quite solid at the back, and I think that is a big positive.
Yeah, and obviously talking about the few draws that we did get in a row, obviously the Oxford game I think was a very good point in the end, with being a 10-man down at 2-1 down. Again, you have got the likes of Coventry, which again, looking now, you think they didn't score against us. We probably could have scored against them. I think you'd take as much as we took a point. I think you would have been even more annoyed if you lost it. Swansea, we looked like we were going to draw it, but we did win it. And then West Brom, I think it's probably a fair result. And I think if you could look through all of them, as much as we did get 4 points instead of was it 12? Yeah, I don't think you can be too annoyed. And again, we were only 3 points off the top. So right now, with what Cifuentes is doing and what we've got as a team wise, I think we're only improving. And again, there is certain players that people may be mentioning at the moment, like a Micah Fataru, who you might call him a one-trick pony, and I have called him that. If that one-trick pony route does it and scores a banger, you're not going to complain, are you? So I think the team we've got now and the team that we could have, again, with Mabadidi starts showing up as well, I think that could be a good thing. But right now, he is low on confidence. But I think the main thing we've got to be talking about, and we have been talking about, is the fact that we haven't got a striker who can put it away. Do you see the likes of Carranza maybe coming in for the next few games? Because he's got to starting soon, surely.
Yeah, I think he has to. I think you've got to. I know you're not Daka's biggest hater like I am, but you've got to start. You've got to get Daka out of the team. I don't care what he's good at. He's not good enough, and we've found that out now for so many years. Carranza's got to give him a chance. We've got to give Carranza a chance. Give him a few run of games. Daka's had a couple now in a row, and he's had appearances off the bench for the last 4 years, and he's never looked like doing anything. It's Carranza's time. You got to give him a. I don't even. I'm not Ayu's biggest hater, to be honest. I don't mind Ayu. I think as much as he's not going to get you goals, he gives you so much in the build-up play that Daka doesn't give you. He's just not what you want from a striker, and people get on him a bit because he never looks like putting the ball in the back of the net. So I think Carranza's a good mix between the two. He's a striker and he's not the worst at hold-up play, whereas Daka can't pass the ball to save his life. So I think it's got to be Carranza.
Yeah, and I agree. But the next 3 games you've got up, I think out of all the 3 games, you probably would say that there's a good chance to put him in because they're not like a West Brom, they're not a Coventry at the moment, they're not an Ipswich or a Southampton. They are teams where realistically on paper you should be getting the 3 points. So Carranza's got a chance, hopefully, to come in after the international break and do a job. But again, I don't think he did go on international break with Argentina. So good news is he's been in the training ground getting ready for the games. And is he not? Is he in? Is he? Is
No, he's
he
not. But
international?
he's been at Seagrave. Yeah, he's been at
Yeah,
Seagrave.
yeah. I was gonna. Yeah. So he's obviously been preparing for the last 2 weeks, getting into it. So for me, he does start as much as, like you said, I prefer Daka over to Ayu, and the fact that I think the last 2 games shown that in positions he is and how he does stuff with pressing and whatnot, I think he's better suited than Ayu. But out of the 3, I would pick Carranza. And as much as people have been slating him for the small-ish chances he's been having, I know he had a big chance against Swansea, but I think you've got to put someone up there who he's got to do the job because we can't keep relying on, like I say, big chances. I think you said a few days or 3 weeks ago that they're not recreatable chances. They're not going to be chances where you can just score many times. They're just wonder goals at the moment, and yeah, we can't keep relying on big goals. We'll move on to Hull then. Obviously, I know it's a while away, but we'll have a bit of a chat about them. I think I said before at the start of the show that a lot of fans were saying that they're one of the teams to go down this season. I don't know where they are in the league, but again, another one on paper where you should go out
I think
and
they're doing
get a result.
decently.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're doing all right. They've got something we don't, which is somehow I didn't think it would work, but Ollie McBurney seems to be banging in the goals for Hull. But even though I think he was at like Las Palmas last season or something, but he seems to be doing a job for them. So I don't know. It's another game where we've got to win it. Really, it's just one of them. Long night away in Hull. It's going to be a long trip for probably both of us going, but it's a must win.
Yeah. It is a must win. It is a must win. Before we move on to the last one of the 3, is there anything you want to kind of mention over the last few weeks? Obviously, we have made improvements. We did get the win against Swansea, which was good to see. I think now it's about pushing on and going through the next 3 games with a bit more confidence because I feel like the confidence did change after the Wrexham game when Cifuentes did say about being arrogant. I think that really kicked some of the players up a bit, and I think we did change our tune against that Swansea. As much as we did make a mistake and give them a penalty, we did look a lot better. The passes were a lot quicker, and I think going into the next 3 games now, I think this is where you've got to maybe push for not going just for the draw. You've got to go for the wins. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, I think we need a good month now. We need to get the wins that should be wins over the line without any sort of hesitance or any sort of slip ups like we did against Wrexham. We don't need anything like that. But another thing I wanted to say is in my opinion, we haven't really got a nailed on centre back duo. I think
Mm.
Vestergaard's nailed on, but he's sort of dipped in between Faze and Coley a bit. I was just wondering who's your preferred centre back partnership. I'm torn between Coley and Faze. I think Faze is better on the ball, but Coley's the better defender. So I don't know what you think.
At the start of the season, my preferred two was Coley and Nelson. But obviously, with the play style we are and
Mm.
how we want to play, Vestergaard is the main man for it. And I'm not going to take him out of the team for it. And 2 years ago, I was so happy to see him thrive under this system that Enzo Maresco had for him. But if it was with Vestergaard, I don't know. I think FaZe does well there, and I know a lot of people don't like him, but FaZe in that role next to Vestergaard, I think does very well. I think at times he just really loses his concentration. I think Okoli last season, I kept shouting for him to be back in the team because I think in a Premier League season where you needed a bit more pace in the team, I think he probably would have been preferred there. But at the moment, I don't know. I would be calling for Ben Nelson back, but after that performance against Huddersfield in the cup, has that cut him out of the squad for a few more months? Because does he rely on him anymore? I don't know. Um, he was decent for Oxford 2 years ago. Last year. So he knows the Championship. I don't know. Do you think Ben Nelson is a shout, or again? I'm not going to disagree with you. I think FaZe is probably the best shout for it, but it's a mixture between what sort of style do you need? Do you need someone with a bit more pace, or do you need someone with a bit more concentration on the ball? And that's not FaZe, or that's not a Coley at times.
Yeah, I think I was the same as you. But going into the season, I was like, Nelson's obviously been hyped up. Oxford have said he's like next England potential and like he's a Premier League footballer at heart. But we saw him against Huddersfield. He was really not good. I think he lost the ball most times he got the ball. But he is still young. I don't think he's as young as we think he is anymore. But he is still quite young. But I think Vestergaard genuinely, like on the ball, I think Vestergaard is really key to what we do. You can see that pass he wants to do through the lines to Winks every time, and it's like I think managers love that, especially attacking style, possession based managers. They love a player like Vestergaard who can just bring a pass through the lines, and
Isn't
I
it
think
mental
he's
that if
nailed on
someone
no
like
matter what.
isn't it mental that if you had someone like Vestergaard with I don't know. I'm going to be calling it like FIFA pace, but for instance, instead of having 46 pace, he's got 80 pace. I think he'd be one of the best in the world for it. Like just because of how good he is on the ball, he'd be quality. But unfortunately, that is the one downside of Vestergaard that he is lanky. He is good at passing, but his pace is just not there for the Premier League, which is annoying. Um,
Mm.
but yeah, for me, Vestergaard in this Championship season, whereas a lot of players around him who are going to be against him have got pace but haven't got the shooting boots on. I think that's where we've got to take the opportunities. We'll move on to Millwall then. Obviously, another team that a lot of fans have been predicting to be quite high this season with a few of their signings that they made. I was very surprised at Coventry being 4-0 on the side of I think it's very hard to get a result against them at their place, which obviously will be in 3 games time. But I don't know. Like they've got that Ivanovic up front, isn't it? And I think they're a team they're just hard to beat at home. Which I think 2 years ago when we played them, I think we drew to them late on. But what's your take on Millwall? Because I know, I know it's a few weeks away, but another result where realistically on paper with the team we've got should be clearly enough.
Yeah, I mean, you said I'm not gonna. Yeah, you said Louis drew to them. I think we lost to them. We lost to them 1-0, and
What was it?
it was a worldie. Yeah, it was a midweek game before that Plymouth game, and I remember Daka being horrendous as usual. But yeah, we struggled there, and we struggled there when we went there in the cup. I know we won 3-2, but like the 3-2, they kept coming back. It is a hard place to go. Coventry managed to do it, but I
Mm.
think we'll see. Yeah, they've got Ivanovic. I think he's only 20, so. I don't know if he's still in his full potential, but he could see a player like Vestergaard and he could target that. But
Mm.
I don't know if he's smart enough yet at his age to realise that. But yeah, it's a very tough place to go. I think a point there wouldn't be the end of the world.
Yeah, fair enough. Well, we've talked about the next 3 games. Obviously, I think there's Blackburn as well after that, but we'll leave that for a few more weeks. well, before we do finish, then we'll talk about a few players that at the start of the season till now maybe have played well or haven't played well, and we just want to get our views on it, each of us. So firstly, REEEDY. Obviously, I've been a big criticism guy. Criticistic. Well, I can't say it. Big criticism on him this season. What's your take on him? Because right now, I know he's lower confidence. But when Monga's in his position, I think even that's probably going to hurt because he's 16-year-old taking your role. What's your take on REEEDY at the moment? Because I know he's a good player. I know he's a good player in him. But right now, if he's playing like he is, he should be anywhere near the team.
Yeah, you can tell he's hurt him. You can see it with the way he's playing. He doesn't seem the way he used to be. He doesn't seem as confident. He doesn't seem as direct. He looks almost as if he doesn't look like he's gained weight, but he's a bit more sluggy. Like when he's turning, he's a bit more like clunky. But I just don't know what it is. He put something on his Instagram saying that like bad times don't last or something like that. So he knows, and he will know that he's being replaced by a 16-year-old, and he's human, so it will hurt him. But we know what player he's like, and he's got the backing of all the fans. He's not going to get booed. I remember at West Brom, I think as some of the fans were calling for him to get subbed off. And I remember I didn't do it, but I remember people were cheering when he got subbed off. But then when he walked round the fans, like they were singing his name, and it was good. So I think he's always got the backing of us. It's not going to go toxic because we know what he's like and we know what he's done for us. But he is a key player and he does need to step it up because with a lack of a striker, we need a player like him to start scoring.
No, and I do agree what you're saying. As much as I want to criticise his play, because I know that in every game I want to play, I want to be winning games. And if he's in the team and he's not performing well, I'm going to have to say like you're not playing well and whatnot. And I'd rather not have you in the team. But you are right. We will have the backing of him if I see what he can do, and I know he can do it, and he shows it. Then we'll all be there for him. But I think he just needs that one goal to get in there. The next player we'll talk about, and again it is still 50-50, and you've already spoke about him, but Mr. Jordan Ayew, who pre-season looked quite good. I think coming into the season he was our number 9, but the last couple of games maybe Cifuentes has maybe changed it up and thought he's not doing what we need him to do. I know he obviously probably been told to be a lot more deeper and not be up front, but I think the last few games have shown us that we do need that central forward striker up there all the time, even if Ayew comes into the 10 role. But again, with Ramsey back, it might not be the case. But what's your take on Ayew? Because in my opinion, I know he does well out of his position, but don't play him out of his position then. Play him in a position where he can do what he can do well with. So, what's your take on him?
I might differ from a lot of people. I don't mind him, and I've said this for quite a while. And I know what you want from a striker, but I just think he is key to the way we want to play. Like a lot of the time, we do want to play out from the back, and then people learn that they press us. We don't have a choice but to go long. If we go long to Dake, he'll get flicked off by any defender in the league. But he'll hug the ball and he'll win you a foul, or he'll flick it onto someone. I don't mind Ayew. I don't mind his play, but he just needs to score more goals. But he doesn't. I can't really remember off the top of my head a chance he's had apart from his goal at Oxford. I can't remember like thinking, oh, he should have scored. He doesn't really have shots. That's the worry with Ayew. But I don't think you can play him in a 10 because of the amount of players we've got who can play there. So it's a bit of a dilemma with Ayew. It's to say that you like him or you don't.
Yeah, I agree, and like, don't get me wrong, I was absolutely hating on him last season because he was playing in the right wing spot, which for a winger, and obviously I know he lost out for Taru, so trying to compare to him in how we know he can play is ridiculous. But again, an Ayew on the wing for me with no pace and no ability to skill, for me it was just an absolutely outrageous decision to make. But in the more central role, I think you're right. I think he does do well. I just don't think he is suited to that striker role, in my opinion. We'll bring on one more player, and this is a very controversial one because I know there's a lot of people have been saying to get him out, and that is Stolicic. For me, going into the season, we all called for him to start, and obviously, and I don't know if you've heard about some fans calling and say maybe switch that out because he's probably not been to his best ability. But the save he made at Swansea, the chance he's the chances he's had to save and he's done well, I don't think he's done much wrong. But there has been rumours, and I've seen the rumours, so I wanted to mention it. Do you still think he is the main man for the job, or what's this new keeper as well? This Argentinian guy from Betis has come in. What's his role in it? Is he just a backup? Because I know Begovic is probably more into the training manager side of it. But do you think Jacobs is still the main man for the job this season?
Yeah, I do. I think he does look dodgy, but he is young for a keeper. Like, I think his worst game was Oxford. He shouldn't have parried that ball out to for their first goal. I don't think he's as confident as a normal keeper is. I think he strives off making saves, but I think Vietes, we don't know anything about him. No one does. You can pretend no one knows anything about him, and we all know Begovic is sort of a coach. So I think even if we don't want Stalaci, I don't think we've got much choice. I mean, maybe Vietes, but that's a gamble. It's just like it is with Carranza. We don't really know much about him. I think Stalacic's not been that bad. He hasn't done enough for me to say we need to get him out. I've never thought that. He's made a few good saves. His distribution can be dodgy. Like Preston, his decision making as well wasn't great. But I think he deserves to be our number one, especially off last season. He was probably better than Hermansen towards the end of last season as well. So.
No, I agree. That's where we'll finish, mate. Thank you for joining today. Quick score prediction before we go for the Pompey match. Just an early one to get in there. What's your prediction for next Saturday?
I'm going to go with a 2-0 Leicester. That's best case scenario, just a simple 2-0 Leicester.
Well, I think we might need a clean sheet at him, and do you know what? I think Phil said it as well in the last few weeks that we just need a result where it's like at home as well, where we have not a stomping, but a good, clean 90-minute performance where we actually do deserve to win a game. Because at the moment, as much as we know the Championship is never going to be easy, we just need to make sure we get a decent result and show that we are performing like Coventry are doing at the moment. They're just scoring goals for fun and showing that it don't matter who they're playing against, they can score a load of goals. Taylor, thank you for joining me. If you are going to be here tomorrow night, you can join Phil if you want. And then we've got other shows coming up this week. But Taylor, I appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you next show.
Yeah, thank you, mate.
Cheers, see you in a bit. There, guys, another show completed. Sorry, I am about 8 out 9, 10 hours late. Of course, I decided to do it later on instead of being in the morning because I didn't wake up in time. Appreciate you all coming on. We'll be back live next Sunday at 9:30 in the morning. Appreciate you coming on, and we'll see you all tomorrow for Phil's show. See you later, guys.
The Leicester City machine is on the march again.
Leicester Fan TV presents a variety of content like fan discussions, match analysis, and engaging with Leicester fans worldwide. We want your views live, thanks to our sponsors, Everard's, Pucker Pies, Hologram, Take Me, Newbie & Co, and the Fox's Arms.
Want to watch more content like this? Hit the like button. Give us your views. Hit subscribe to Leicester Fan TV and make sure to follow Leicester Fan TV on all socials.